In our interview, I spoke to Dr. Audu Mohammed of the National Malaria Elimination Program. Dr. Audu Mohammed, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, now give us a background, really, of the fight against malaria so far in Nigeria.
I think the fight against malaria started with greater impetus when the country hosted the African Declaration Against Malaria, and they came up with rubber malaria in the year 2000. And since then, this effort has made people to be aware of malaria as one of the diseases that has a very devastating effects both on morbidity, mortality, and it has economic impact on the country. And as such, the international community and the African leaders put all effort to make sure that this is being addressed. So in so doing, they set up some goals and targets, to see that we roll back malaria. In the process of doing that, a lot of investment has been put on malaria within the last 15 and a half years. And also new tools and new interventions have been introduced. And at the moment we are talking with you, about more than 8 to 10 countries are now free of malaria. And in the country also, so far, since we got a very good indicative processes of assessing impact when we did the malaria indicators of the 2010 and then the 2015, we saw a drop from 42% prevalence to 27%, and this is very significant. And then how was all this achieved? The global community, including the federal government of Nigeria, were able to mobilize a lot of resources. In fact, since that period of time up to now, more than about 1.5 billion US dollar has been expended to address malaria. And in the process of doing that, there are some interventions that were brought on board, and this intervention has been proven to be very, very effective. And this intervention cut across prevention and treatment. And in this prevention, we have so many armaments. These armaments include the use of long-lasting insecticidal nets that prevents the vector mosquito that carries the parasite, the Plasmodium falciparum, from having access to bite the individual. And this bite by the female Anopheles mosquito is usually in the night from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. And at that period of time, if you sleep under the net, it will prevent you from the bite of malaria. So which means the parasite will not be injected into your body, that will cause all sort of complications to the human body.
But you mentioned 1.5 billion so far. It's expended by the U.S. government or by...
No, by both the country and international donor agencies.
But isn't it funny that such huge amount has been spent, yet we still have a huge gap, when it comes to, the actual artesunate getting to people, especially the rural people?
The thing is that if you consider the population of Nigeria, the population of Nigeria as at now is about more than 180 million. And if you see the size of Nigeria, and if you see the type of terrain in Nigeria, if you see our socio-economic differentiation, if you see the hard range, the country has level of literacy, etc., and also issues of infrastructure and health manpower. We still have a long way to go. So you need a lot of resources to bring all this on board. Now, if you go to the rural area, the most rural area, you will see a health worker, maybe community health extension worker, able to do rapid diagnostic tests, and then before she treats somebody with malaria. And the problem is that not all fevers are malaria. So unless you have a tool that you can diagnose that is malaria, if you give the person anti-malaria, you find that the person will not be okay. It may be the child may have maybe respiratory tract infection, may have boil infection in the ear, may have urinary tract infection, etc. So resources are really needed to address, and Nigeria is one of the highest burden. About 97% of Nigerians are at risk of malaria. So you just imagine. And you find that the number of people, especially children under 5, the episodes they have of malaria is almost 2 to 4 per year. So for an individual, in a year, you need maybe about 4 courses of anti-malaria, and it's enormous amount of money.
But now we are at 27%, and by 2020 we're hoping to achieve less than 5%. What hope do we have?
Well, the issue is that now we have put in a strategic plan 2014 to 2020, and in that strategic plan we have mapped out some serious intervention to address, and also how to harness resources and to reach out to people. So whatever that we are able to bring out as an intervention, the people give us all the necessary support it requires. And that is why even in this year's theme, when we say end malaria for good, we say what role are you going to play? Because if you and I, we leave gutters in front of our house, we leave all tires, all cans with water collection where the mosquito will breed, no matter what resources you put, you will not make an impact. But so far, we have seen a lot of improvement. For instance, Lagos, a lot of reclamation of land was done. If you know Morocco before and Lekki now, you discover that when in those days of Morocco, the number of mosquitoes in that place and the current situation, there is drastic difference. So we hope that if we do so many innovative and new innovations are also coming.
Yes, I'm going to come to that, but let's look at the nitty-gritty of the matter at hand right now. Like last year, you mentioned there was a strategic plan and a wholesome plan to bring the number of deaths, and of course reduce the number of deaths, and of course halt this disease. But give us insight into what that plan really entails.
Well, as I was telling you, the plan is to run from 2014 to 2020. And the target of that plan is for us to reach pre-elimination. And when you reach pre-elimination, it means that if you assess maybe about 1,000, like only less than 5% will be positive for malaria. And that is what we are trying to achieve. To achieve that, all these other interventions that I've told you, either is prevention using the long-lasting insecticide, whether it's the indoor residual spray, whether it's the larvicidin that kills the larva of the mosquito, whether if you have malaria and is diagnosed with RDT or microscopy, you are treated with the ACT, which is the quality assured ACT that can treat malaria. And so far we have also banned use of monotherapy like chloroquine, because we find that they are not effective, and some other drugs. And we have also done a lot of behavioral change to prevent people. There is some part of this country that if a child has malaria during the peak of the rainy season, they will say it's because of the lightning. They will say because it's witch. So many all those things. We have to take measures to reverse all these things.
Are people really aware that chloroquine shouldn't be taken?
We have officially banned it, and we have also discouraged government and even the private sector from procuring it. So if you see chloroquine and people using chloroquine, it's either a smuggled chloroquine, or for some people that are very adamant in insisting, sometimes all practice never die of, because the chloroquine has like analgesic effect. So if you take chloroquine, you will get temporary relief because it's an analgesic, just like paracetamol. But meanwhile, the parasite is still in your body doing the damage. So after some time, you still you relapse. The fever comes back again, you take, you are not going anywhere. And if it is a child, give him 24 to 48 hours, and the child will have severe malaria. And when a child has severe malaria, the consequences is very devastating. The child can go into convulsion, the child can have anemia, can have renal failure, can have so many other complications leading to death.
Very well, we look forward to the year 2020 and positive things to come when it comes to the issue of malaria. Thank you, Dr. Audu Mohammed, for coming on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for your mails. As always, keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handle on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. And don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. See you again.